Hello, my name is Safra Cleveland, and I will be filming Prince's speech tonight.
Good evening. Did you know that in America, on average, each individual uses about 1,600 pounds of trash each year? Most of the trash contain paper, plastic, and aluminum, items that can be separated and recycled. Though we commonly see recycle bins in public places like libraries and airports, we do not recycle enough as Americans. Perhaps we should. Perhaps it should be law. According to recyclingrevolution.com, it takes about 500,000 trees in order to publish the weekly Sunday paper. As Americans, we generate about 2.5 million plastic bottles every hour when we drink water, bottled water. Also, as Americans, we use about 80 billion aluminum cans each year alone. These items can be recycled, and specifically with the aluminum cans, they can be recycled limitlessly, over and over and over again. Okay. The lack of recycling adds to our overall waste production. And waste production that accounts for about 40% of the world's total waste production. Now that's a staggering amount, considering that in America, we only amount for 5% of the world's population. So unless Americans become more environmental friendly, we will soon be surrounded by trash. Sorting out our trash, our plastic, paper, and aluminum specifically, is inexpensive and it takes a little bit of time. The problem is that recycling isn't done enough by us Americans on a daily basis. And it's not a new issue. Recycling is nothing new. I'm sure people have seen people pick up aluminum cans in the street. You've seen plastic, paper, and aluminum recycle bins in public places. It's nothing new. We see it on a day-to-day basis. However, individually, we're not taking enough responsibility to do our part. Okay. Recycling also increases the landfill production that is going on in America. Take for example Mount Trashmore in Virginia Beach, in Virginia, and also Mount Rumpke in Ohio. These landfills are being pretty much grown over with forced maneuver and grass in residential areas because they have to fill these landfills. And the amount of landfills in America is increasing on an annual basis. Okay. Our waste production results in unnecessary energy consumption because producers, they continue to use raw material instead of using recycled plastic, paper, or aluminum. And we also causing destruction to our vegetation, and we're losing our wildlife due to our natural habitat destruction. Okay. With the amount of waste that we're producing each year, it is important that we find other means to get rid of our trash. Okay. Most of our trash can be recycled. For example, the average American household throws about 13,000 pieces of paper away each year. This amount can be recycled. If all the newspapers were recycled, we could save about 250 million trees annually. Okay. Americans use 80 billion aluminum cans, as I mentioned, annually. This amount can be recycled over and over again. As far as plastics recycling, that's a more difficult task because there's so many different types of plastics. However, water bottles alone can be recycled, and that's 2.5 million every hour. That can be recycled over and over again. And that's easy to sort out. Okay. By continuing to sort out our trash, for one, we reduce our landfills, right, and our dumps. All we're doing is increasing our greenhouse effect, and we're causing temperatures in our environment to increase. Right. The best way that recycling become effective is if we make it a prime concern in our society. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, 35% of Americans recycle today. To increase this number, we need to make a few changes as society, as a total society. Number one, there should be a national mandate, a government mandate that pretty much makes it official that everyone needs to recycle. We should first start out with the business environments, business buildings, and then eventually in the future, you can push it out to residential communities. Also, local cities and towns should offer monetary compensation for recycling. Aluminum cans, plastic bottles. This will increase the number of recyclers that we have in our community. Individually, as members of society, it is our responsibility to help environmental control. As individuals, we can also continue or start to make our own recyclable bins. We can recycle plastic, paper, and aluminum. Although most of us think that it takes a lot of space, the little bit amount of space that we use in our house can amount to a large amount of environmental space and also the protection of our natural resources and consume less energy. Overall, here's how I see our current position. Okay. To reduce our energy usage and to protect our natural habitat and to protect and help resolve some of our climate issues, we need to start recycling soon rather than later. Okay. Or we can continue to deteriorate our environment and cause increase in greenhouse effects, continue to dwindle our environment, cut down trees, and pretty much we're going to end up having to extend animals because of our lack of habitat. Okay. We have to become more strict because the rate that we are losing our habitat is alarming. Okay. So what are you going to do? You have two options. Which one would you choose?